Okay, well, we're back.
This
Uh,
time on 9 hours, 9 persons, 9 doors.
7, I'm pregnant, and you're the father.
I said no. Well, you did get the title right, so I guess you can do a
Santa, I'm
bit.
pregnant, and you're the father.
Oh my,
Clover, I'm pregnant, and you're the father.
she's a bit too dead for that. Cause yeah, Clover died, and Ace is really evil, and he kidnapped Lotus, and it's just me and Seven, and we're trying to figure out what to possibly do to salvage this situation.
Junpei, I'm pregnant, and you're the father.
Alright, let's keep going.
I don't see them.
You think they already went through?
He reached up to wipe a palmful of sweat from his brow.
Maybe.
Even as he spoke, Junpei was already on his way to the larger of the number 9 doors.
Let's check the red.
The display
Oh.
panel read vacant. He spun around and headed toward the smaller door. This red would tell him if Ace and Lotus had moved to another room.
Engaged. It's occupied.
That means Ace and Lotus went through here.
Yeah, it seems like it.
Junpei and Seven stepped away from the door. They retreated to the center of the room and began to talk.
What do we do now?
Yeah, what should we do?
Well,
Well, the big door is still vacant, but
The two of us can't do anything with it.
yeah, not even counting how our digital route isn't 9.
if he goes in with 7 and June, it would be 9.
Yeah? Just then, as they were pondering what to do next, there was a noise. A noise like someone hitting a thick wooden panel.
What's that sound?
Junpei looked up surprised. Seven followed suit, his eyes jumping around the room looking for the source of the sound.
It's coming from over there.
It wasn't long before they found the altar. Or more precisely, what was on it.
The coffin.
Yeah.
Let's
Oh,
open it.
right. It was being knocked on earlier, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
How?
By force.
I don't think that's gonna happen.
Well, you never know till you try, right? The only necessity for success is the willingness to suffer 1,000 failures.
How
Mhm.
profound.
That was. Yeah.
Who said that?
I forget. Anyway, we've got to try.
Junpei and Seven leapt at the coffin. They grabbed hold of what purchases they could find and pulled.
Damn it!
See? Didn't I tell you? If you could just pull it open, why would it have something like that?
Seven pointed at a keypad on the side of the coffin.
Right. So unless I put in the right passcode, it's not gonna open.
The noise hadn't stopped. In fact, as it continued, it had only gotten louder and more forceful. What were they supposed to do? Junpei wondered.
Was there some sort of clue somewhere?
They stood there for a few moments, staring at the coffin, and then Seven spoke.
Hey, Junpei. I remember you mumbling about some weird numbers over by the bathroom in the first class cabin.
Yeah.
You got those numbers by solving the secret message Clover was holding, right?
I mean, it worked for one thing, but that doesn't mean it would work again. But
I mean,
who knows?
Do
Might as
you
well
have
try
any
it.
other numbers to try?
No.
Truth had gone, or something like that.
Yeah, that's right. What about it?
Well, maybe that number's the passcode for this thing too.
Come on, that's impossible. Those
Mm,
numbers
it's
were
not
the
im-
code to unlock that safe.
Yeah, but the person who set up that safe in this coffin is the same person, right? Zero set up both of these.
Yeah, probably.
Well, then they might have set the same passcode for both of them.
That's ridiculous.
Why
It
don't you
feels
just
like
try it?
Zero
It's not like you'll make things any worse.
Zero designed this game with the intent to let the right people survive. Almost.
Who knows?
But let's see.
It'd just be a waste of time. There's no way they're the same number.
How do you know that? You never know until you try. The only necessity for success is the willingness to suffer 1,000 failures.
I mean, he's got you. He's got you there, buddy.
Who said that?
You.
Yeah.
Fine.
He knelt down in front of the keypad and looked at it. Perhaps because he'd repeated them so many times before, the numbers came easily to Junpei's mind.
1438 3421.
Quickly, he typed them in. 14383421. He checked that he'd entered the right numbers, took a deep breath, and pressed the E button. It only took a moment.
Oh, well, there you
You
go.
gotta be kidding me.
There was a click,
How about
and with a heavy clunk, the lid of the coffin slid off onto the floor. Someone sat up from inside.
Snake!
You? Why?
Ah, those voices. Junpei and Seven, unless I'm mistaken. Where are the others? Are they elsewhere?
Of course, there was no reason Snake would have known anything about where anyone else would be. Hey, your sister's dead, by the way.
Yeah, I was just thinking that too. I don't know how we're gonna.
Oof. Yeah, that's gonna
Yeah.
be an awkward conversation.
So hard to discuss this with you, but
yeah.
your sister's kind of dead. Sorry about that. We can get you a new one if you want.
Yeah.
Probably a different model though.
Junpei and Seven looked at one another. There was a great deal he needed to know, but he had to tell him something, however, so they began to talk. Snake explained to them how he came to be locked in the coffin. Apparently, he'd been hit with some sort of knockout gas, most likely Axe body spray, and Junpei and Seven explained what had happened to the rest of them.
Please don't sue us, X.
I see. I believe I got the gist of everything. Have I been sufficiently caught up?
My man has got a bad case of bedhead, but go on.
No, there was one thing they kept from him. There was one thing, however, that neither Seven nor Junpei could bring themselves to say. That Ace had killed Clover. They feared that if Snake knew, he might well go insane.
Yeah.
They decided as much by a look the moment Snake had climbed out of the coffin.
But that still doesn't explain why you were trapped in here.
We've still got no clue about Zero's true identity, let alone why the hell he's doing all this. Why did he put Guy X in Snake's clothes? Is all this stuff somehow related to that notary game that was played 9 years ago?
Probably.
Hey, Snake, do you know anything?
Junpei put the question to Snake. His answer was less than illuminating.
What are you talking about? I apologize, but I have no idea what you're saying.
Oh, what?
It seemed as though Snake was, perhaps, not being entirely honest, but that knowledge did Junpei and Seven little good.
Oh, come on, just tell us if you know.
I don't know what to tell you. How can I know something I don't?
No matter how many times they asked, he insisted that he knew nothing. It was becoming clear that Snake wouldn't give in, and every second they spent asking him was a second wasted.
This is bad. We're running out of time.
We need to go after Ace.
Wait a minute.
However,
Does Ace still have his bracelet on?
yeah.
Okay, I didn't see it. I wasn't looking. I'm sorry, not Ace. I meant Snake.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
They stood in silence, the overpowering atmosphere of the chapel almost stifling. Junpei, Seven, and Snake simply stood, at a loss for what they should do next.
What do we do now?
He glanced over at Snake's wrist. Sure enough, he could see the 2 bracelet on Snake's wrist.
The 3 of us can't make a digital root of 9.
Yeah, we just get 5.
We're stuck here then.
Oh. Hey, I just remembered something.
Seven began patting his pockets as if he were checking to see if any of them held anything.
What?
What is it?
I found something earlier.
What did you find?
This.
He'd finally found the pocket he wanted, and his hand dove into it. Seven pulled out something round and metal. A bracelet. There was no mistaking the number glowing at them from the face like a cartoon eye.
0.
Huh.
Zero's bracelet.
He has it.
What did you say? Are you saying that 7 has the number 0 bracelet?
Yeah.
Where did you get that?
Snake's question was innocent enough, but if he learned the truth, if he'd been able to see, he would have noticed Seven look away.
Clover gave it to me.
She did?
Huh?
Yeah.
Because Clover's the one who probably pilfered it in the
Yeah.
first place, and he took it off her corpse.
Makes sense. Yeah, that makes
How
sense.
did she come by it?
Well, she found it. See, on the other side of door 1, A deck, in the captain's quarters. She asked me to hold on to it because it was too big and bulky for her to be lugging around.
He's
That's what she said.
Junpei could tell right away that Seven wasn't telling the truth.
He even told us earlier.
I haven't actually looked at it yet. Didn't want to disturb the crime scene, you know? Basic stuff. Well, I did borrow one thing.
He probably said that so Snake doesn't find out about Clover.
Yeah, that would
Yeah.
suck.
All right,
I
Junpei.
see.
Been nice knowing you.
Wait, what?
7 plus 2 plus 0 is 9.
Come on, man. I'm just kidding.
Oh. I was like, wait, hold on.
Still,
You're cool.
Just in case, I want to make sure the 0 bracelet gets picked up by the red. Snake, give me a hand, all right?
Without waiting for a response, he started walking toward the door. Junpei and Snake followed behind him quietly. Before long, they found themselves in front of the larger of the 2 doors. Seven and Snake put their palms on the red. Once they'd done that, Seven put the number 0 bracelet on the scanner panel as well. The third asterisk appeared on the screen. 7 plus 2 plus 0 equals 9. Now they just needed to pull the lever and the door would open.
Huh? Why isn't it opening?
Well, the third asterisk lit up, so... It must have registered the 0 bracelet.
Maybe it isn't actually 0.
Huh?
What?
That bracelet may not actually produce the number 0 when scanned. That is what I'm saying.
I mean, he was in the nunnery games before, so he might know something.
Why don't we try a few different combinations? Perhaps we can determine what number that bracelet actually contains.
Oh, got it!
Junpei nodded. He decided to use the following combination. Alright, any guesses as to what the solution could be? It's all just guessing.
Junpei plus 7 plus the bracelet.
Let's try me, 7, and the bracelet.
So that would be 5 plus 7 is 12, 1 plus 2 is 3.
If this combination works, then the number for this bracelet is 6.
They scanned in their bracelets.
Hey, it worked.
Hey, you got it on the first try.
How about that?
Yes, so it would seem.
7 clearly hadn't thought their experimentation would produce anything useful and looked rather confused. Snake was, as usual, calm and smug.
I feel like Snake knew that was going to happen.
The door slid closed. Junpei's forehead furrowed as he thought.
That means the bracelet is actually 6.
5 plus 7 plus 6 is 18, which equals 9.
But how is that possible?
It means that Connie is 0.
Who knows?
The display
I
on
mean,
the bracelet clearly shows
I've said
us-
everybody is 0 at this point.
I
so-
think so, yes.
I even think I had a moment where I was like, Junpei is 0.
Suddenly, from somewhere far beneath them, they heard the creak and groan of tearing metal. With it came the sound of water pouring into parts of the ship that had until recently been dry.
Oh man, that's not good. I guess our time's just about up, huh?
At any rate, we know now that the door can be opened. Let's go!
But, Snake, are you sure?
Yeah, you don't.
Yeah. You know that only Junpei and I can go through this way.
You needn't worry. I have a solution to this problem. My last resort. But if now is not the time for last resorts, then when?
Last?
Resort?
Wonder what he means.
Uh,
Well, it looks like we can go through regardless, so we'll just do that. Shunk. Conveniently placed deactivation device.
Yep. I mean, it was the 9th room.
Junpei 7 and Snake ran full tilt down a long, straight hallway. They were headed for the stern of the ship and had no time for distractions. Door 5 crew represent.
That's right. You're not wrong.
So I think these 3 can save the day, right?
Yeah. Well, I guess we'll
Hopefully.
find out what Snake's last resort is. You know.
As they ran, 7 spoke.
Gotta admit, you really surprised me there, kid. I couldn't figure out how the hell you were gonna get out of that one. How come you didn't do that right off the bat?
As I told you, it was a last resort. Had I used it at the beginning of the game, I would have come under a great deal of suspicion.
Oh, his prosthetic arm.
I imagine that most people would have taken it to mean that I was 0. Once
Oh.
they'd convinced themselves of that, I wasn't optimistic about my chances of making it out of here alive, let alone unscathed. I felt it best to play my cards close to the chest, as it were. That way,
Oh,
if
was it
I
the
were
Braille
in a
mode?
situation where there was nothing else I could do, I'd have a little trick up my sleeve. I'd just take my bracelet off.
Snake's plan had been simple but effective. He'd simply removed his bracelet. How? To Junpei, it looked as though Snake had simply crushed the bones of his hand until they were small enough to fit through the wristband. Of course, that would have been practically impossible, so how had he done it?
My brother's left arm is, it's not like a normal person's arm. It's fake. It's not a real arm.
Snake had slid the bracelet off and tossed it into the coffin.
I know this is kind of a weird thing to say, but I'm glad that's a fake arm.
Don't have to be afraid of the door if you don't got a bracelet.
You are correct.
He'd walked through the door easily without authenticating. He stepped out to the other side unscathed and begun running down the hall alongside 7 and Junpei. They kept running for a while longer and eventually came upon a set of stairs leading downward on the right side of the hallway. They stopped and peered down the staircase.
I think these stairs connect to the bottom deck.
Doesn't look like it's underwater.
That's
They-
weird.
Yeah, that's very nice. They nodded quickly to one another and jogged down the stairs. It took only a few minutes to make their way to the bottom deck. There was a single hallway in front of them, at the end of which was a single door.
Let's go through that door.
Junpei threw it open. Inside was a massive iron gate. A plate was affixed to the top of it. It read Incinerator.
Incinerator?
Oh my. That doesn't sound very pleasant. Do you see a lever near the gate, perhaps?
Yeah, right over here.
How did you know that?
Well, I'd be happy to regale you with the story. I imagine it should only take half a day or so.
AKA, we don't have time, do it later. Junpei grumbled, gave Snake a dirty look, and jogged over to the lever.
If you
Yeah.
pull it, the door ought to open.
Got it.
He pulled the lever down. With the rumble of an ancient motor, the door opened. There was no need to hold back and no time to hesitate. They pushed their way inside.
Oh man.